Hello students, this is Omkar Deshpande. Okay, we'll start with the formal organization. Before let me start, we have started with the topic called organizing, the fifth topic. Already meaning, importance, these things have been covered it. Okay, now today's class will start with the formal organization. Now formal organization, now basically in organization there are two styles are there and two way are there how the activity will be conducted. In that the first one is formal and second one is the informal. First let us see what is formal organization. Meaning, formal organization refers to the organization structure which is designed by the management to accomplish a particular task. Now if you see the formal organization is nothing but the way of the work how it can be conducted. Now suppose example, when the objective goals are being set, to achieve that goal we will frame some structure. In that structure which all people, what all work they have to do, what are their designation, how they have to conduct the activity. So this is what we have been mentioning. With the help of this we try to achieve the things, achieve the goals. Okay, so formal, you can take example of schools, hospital, where the formal system is followed, like top level will be there, middle level, lower level, the information will flow from top level to middle level to low level. So hierarchy system which they follow, this is what about the formal organization. Okay, so in simple words, in every enterprise there are certain rules and procedure that establish work relationship among the employees. These facilitate the smooth functioning of the enterprise. Further, they introduce a systematic flow of interaction among the employees. Effective all employees done their formal organization. A systematic way of conducting the work to achieve the goals is called about the formal organization. So next, see the definition of formal organization. The definition says formal organization is a system of well-defined job. Already it is well defined, it is clearly defined that which particular person, what kind of a work they have to do, each bearing a definite measures of authority. For them this few authorized person will be there whom the information will start flowing, and the particular person who take the responsibility. Okay, and the person who take the responsibility also he is accountable to the top level management. So for example, if you see, authorities are the person, they will be there in the top level management. Now responsibility person are like a manager who take the instructions from the top level management, and whatever work is there he will conduct, and he is also the accountable to the top level management. So they are like a authority. So this is what the definition says. Okay, formal organization is a system of well defined job. Each job is clearly defined, who has to do what kind of a job. On the basis of that, authority is set. Authority through that the person will take responsibility and he is accountable to the top management or authorized person. So this is what about the definition of formal organization which is given by Lewis Allen. Next, if we see the features of formal organization, the first feature says it specifies the relationship among various job positions and the nature of their interact relationship. This clarify who has to report to whom. So in first point it clearly says, first feature it clearly says that each person he or she they know about the particular job position, what job they have to do it, and definitely after doing job whom they have to inform, clearly it has been mentioned in the formal organization. According to that they follow it. This is what about first feature. Second one, it is a means to achieve the objective specified in the plans. What objective is set, to achieve that objective this has been done, as it is laid down the rules and procedures. Already rules and procedures, everything is framed. According to that they have to follow the activities essential for the achievement. Now this is follows to achieve the what the goal they have set it. This second point. And which is the third features, efforts of various department are coordinated. Now here various department are there. If you see, HR department is there, marketing department, production department, finance department, all department they coordinate and they are interlinked to each other. They integrate the work in the formal organization. Okay, they all togetherly they work to reach the goals of the organization. Okay, even though there are different departments, but they have to coordinate each other to reach to what are the goals which they have to achieve that goal. They have to go with the formal organization, formal way of conducting the activities. Okay, now the fourth point, it is deliberately designed by the top level management. Now who is going to frame all this formal organization? It is framed by the top level management because they are the authorized person, okay, to facilitate the smooth functioning of the organization, to conduct a smooth and systematic activity. They follow this kind of a method which help them to reach the goals. Okay, now fifth point, it plays more emphasis on work to be performed than interpersonal relationship among the employees. Now here the main intention is that work has to be done, whatever the task is given, that task has to be performed correctly. There is no interrelationship between among the employees, and it is the main focus is about to how the work is to be completed and from whom it is to be completed. That is what they will mention in the formal organization. Okay, now next one is the advantages of formal organization. If you follow the formal organization, the first thing is about it is easier to fix the responsibility. This is one method. If we follow in our organization, we can fix the responsibility on that particular person. Since mutual relationship are clearly defined, easily we will come to know who is the particular person who has taken the responsibility of that particular work. We can easily ask him what the further things are there. So that's what we can easily fix the responsibility when we follow the formal organization. And second one, there is no ambiguity in the clause that each member has to play a duty are specified. Now here there is no ambiguity, there is no confusion or misunderstanding. Why? Because clearly we have allotted that particular person one kind of a work, then definitely he will be responsible for that. So in that there is no confusion or there will be no misunderstanding. Okay, now third one, unity of command is maintained through an establishing chain of command. Now when you see the unity of command, where you have learned in the second topic. Okay, Henry Fayol's concept. In that unity of command is what? For one employee, one boss should be there. So here the same method can be followed when it comes to formal organization. One boss will be there according to what he says, the subordinate worker, they start following it out. So unity of command can be maintained in the formal organization. Next, fourth one, it lead to effective accomplishment of goal by providing the framework for the operation to be performed. Now it is like a framework. Already framework is framed how they can be achieved, with the help of this how they can achieve the goals. So when we have framed everything according to that, the work will start moving it out systematically and effectively. Work can be done with the help of that. We can achieve the whatever the goals we have set. This is what about advantage. Yes, but there are some limitations of formal organization. Okay, so let's see what are the limitations are there. In that, first one is formal communication may lead to procedural delay as the established the chain of command has to be followed, which increases the time taken for the decision making. Yes, this is one important. See, formal organization, it is very easy to follow, but the thing is that whenever the decision making factor comes, it always take a lot of time. It will be delay in decision making. Why? Because it has to flow to chain. We have to keep the proper channels which we have to maintain. According to that only decisions will be done. Okay, now suppose for example lower level, when if they have planned something, they have to submit it to middle level has to give it to top level, they will conduct the meeting and then they will take a decision. So like that, what happened, delay in some kind of a decision and time consuming is there when it comes to the formal organization. So this is the first limitation. And second one, poor organization practice may not provide adequate recognition to creativity talent, since it does not allow any diversion from readily lays down the policy. Now here what happened, being a middle level or a lower level, even those people, they will be having innovative ideas, even they have the skills of conducting, but they can't express. Why? Because in formal organization what happens, generally the top level they frame the rules and regulation, and we started middle level and lower level, we started following the things. But if anything we have the idea, it becomes very difficult to communicate with them. So this will become a difficult when it comes to the formal organization. And third one, it is difficult to understand a human relationship in an enterprise as it plays more emphasis on structure and work. Now here more importance is given on the structure and a work. Here the human relationship importance will be not given. Why? Because work is given, if you complete the work, well and good. So if you not complete, they will take a definitely action on them. So here what happened, there is no human relationship value which will be given when it comes to the formal organization. Very less value which will be given, which we can tell it out. Okay. So next we'll go with the informal organization. Now what is informal organization? Exactly opposite of formal organization is informal organization. Here what happened? Interaction among people at work gives rise to the network of social relationship among employees called informal organization. Now here informal organization, the things like that happen. Why? Because here what happened? Social relationship values will be given more when it comes to informal organization. A group of employees, they meet togetherly and they start doing the social interaction among them. So this is what about informal organization. Okay, in the formal organization, they prescribed rules and regulations they start following, but when it comes to informal organization, by themselves they will create some kind of a rules and regulation, they follow it out. Okay, here the formal channels will be not there, among themselves only interaction will be taking place. Now this is what about informal organization. In simple words, it is easy to understand that if we interact with certain people regularly, we train to get more informal with them. This is because we develop the interpersonal relationship with them, which are not based on solely on work purpose. Now here what happened, not for a work purpose also, apart from work purpose also, as an employee they discuss among themselves. So here the human relationship values which will be given. So this is what about informal organization. If you see, according to the definition of Chatter Bannard, which he has given the definition, an informal organization is an aggregate of interpersonal relationship without any conscious purpose, but which may contribute to joint result. Now here there is no proper purpose to frame this. According to the semantics, they meet and they frame one association, they start working it out. Okay, now here the more importance is given for interpersonal relationship. Without any purpose also they create a group, but at the end what happened, they may contribute to the joint result. Whatever the goals which we have set, that goals can be achieved but not formally, through they go with the informal methods. Okay, now we'll see the advantages of it. Advantage of informal organization, if you see, the first one is prescribed lines of communications are not followed. Thus informal organization lead to faster spread of information as well as quickly feedback. Now here the one, if you see the formal organization, in that limitations, one thing was there, that is time consuming. Decision making, it will create lot of time consuming, but here it is a reverse. So here when it comes to informal organization, in advantage, decisions can be taken fast. Why? Because as an employee among themselves they discuss everything, they start putting the work, and work can be achieved, decisions can be made very fastly, and activity will be conducted very fastly. When it comes to quick feedback can be received, so very fast level of work activity will be conducted when it comes to the informal organization. Second one, it helps to useful the social needs of the members and allow them to find a kind-minded people. This enhance their job satisfaction since it gives them a sense of belongingness in the organization. Now here more importance is given for the social needs and social values. Because of that what happened, they create a job satisfaction in the organization. Why? Because they understand the problem of the employees. Even the employee easily they express the whatever they feel it. Something like belongingness will be created in the organization. So this definitely which will help for the organization. And third one, it contributes towards the fulfillment of organizational objective by compensating for inadequacy in a formal organization. Now it contributes towards the fulfill whatever the objective is set, that objective they try to achieve it by informal way. Okay, it's, we cannot tell that only formally way we can achieve it, even informally way also which we can achieve the whatever the objective which is set. Now if you see the disadvantage of informal organization, the first disadvantage is when an informal organization spreads rumors, it becomes a destructive forces and goes against the interest of the formal organization. Now here that is the reason what happened in many organizations, they won't follow the informal organization. Why? Because here a lot of rumors will be created. Employees among them, they create a group and they started putting the rumors. This everything will create in the organization, it may create the organization. When these kind of activities create in the organization, it may harm to the formal organization. So that is the reason what happened here, spreading of rumors are more when it comes to the informal organization. And second one, management may not be successful in implementing change if the informal organization oppose them. Okay, now sometime what happened, management may not be successful in implementing the changes. As an informal organization, if they bring lot of changes, that changes may not be accepted by the management. Such resistance to change may delay or restrict the growth. Sometimes if the formal organization they keep the demand, sometimes it may follow, it may not be follow. So due to this what happens, sometimes misunderstanding, conflict may arise when it comes to the informal organization. Okay, thank you.